Hey guys,
Hi.
hope you guys are doing well.
Hope you're doing well, guys.
Yeah, so we have a situation where a boy is very clingy and wants to be in mom's arms and is tired and crying a lot. So,
Because I don't understand, like, if you have a child, please explain this to me or to us. Like, how does it happen that, like, does it make sense that your child, that the toys make your baby cry? Like, he gets so frustrated and he cries like crazy.
it makes sense, right? Like, it should make sense, doesn't it? I feel like it's too small and he's like frustrated because the toy is not doing what he wants what he wants it to do, but then he's too small to make it do what he wants it to do, if it makes sense what I'm asking, if I'm saying or asking and doing to do too.
Not really. He's almost 5 months, so I think he's fine. And most of them say he starts at 4 months. So yeah.
No, I think it's that's yeah. If you have a kid, let us know.
Please,
We'd love to know.
please.
We need your insight in this situation. It will be really, really cool.
Yes.
All right.
Cool.
Cool.
So today's topic, I didn't want to do this because I felt like I have no points, and I felt like too much information. But then I was like, let's do it. I'm like, no, let's do it.
When
No.
it comes to such topics, we do always want to do it.
Yeah, because I feel like for this particular topic, I feel like I don't have wisdom yet for it. I don't know if I'll have wisdom for it, but I feel like I don't have wisdom for it.
Guys, you guys all know how much wisdom this lady has right here. And now she's telling you, this is a lady who posts on Instagram and shephers you with one shot and you're like, oh my dang, oh my dang. And now she tells you she doesn't have wisdom for this topic.
Okay, introduce the topic.
Okay, so the topic at hand today is we're going to be talking about sex and religion.
Yay!
Yeah. We're going to be talking about sex and religion and how religion has affected our sex life. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to be sharing a little bit about that. So Budimelo feels like she does not have wisdom to share with regards to that. So the first question that I'll probably ask her is, when you were in
Are you
a
asking
church-
me a question? Are you not
I'm
giving
asking- I'm
background
asking- I'm asking-
information?
What is background information?
I don't know, like what made you
There is
choose
no
this?
background information.
What made you choose
Okay,
this topic?
fine. The reason why this topic was chosen is because I have a few friends who, I guess, one of them was bold enough to confess that this has actually been I don't want to say struggle, but it's been a struggle. I don't know what other word to use, but yeah, with the aspect of religion, and now that you're growing up, and now how do you approach sex, because religion always painted it as something that is so bad and it's something so taboo, and you don't go there and you don't do that. So, and then also you get into a relationship and you get married and you grew up with all of this religiosity that teaches you that sex is bad, and now you're getting into a relationship, and now how do you take what is or was bad, and now it's supposed to be automatically something that is good for a marriage,
And not just good, like something glamorous. You know how, like in marriage seminars, they're like, oh, sex is amazing. It's something that God created. But like, how do you move from
bad,
like ew, like ooh, we don't say that word, to
standard is glorious,
amazing.
and I think yeah, that's such a difficult thing, because
It is.
if we can be real, like Budimelo is my first time. She is like, she's the first person that I actually had sex with, and so the way that it's so glamorized on television and marriage seminars they always tell you, oh my goodness, it's so amazing, it's gonna be the bomb, it's gonna be, ooh, it's gonna be just, you know what, it just slides in, and then you realize that no, it doesn't just slide in.
I think the first few, without giving too much information, like I don't want us to put ourselves out there too much, because that's not the point. The point is we try to give a point here, and the point is not for us to come and talk about us as that.
Yeah.
But I think because of that, what can I call the tabooness? And you get married and you think, oh my word, this is gonna be awesome. This is gonna be like great. Wah wah wah. Like the first time is awful, and I think for the first few weeks, months, it's just, what is this? Yeah. Like people don't say that it's more of it's like an exercise.
Yeah, it needs consistency.
Gym.
Yeah,
it's consistency, and you grow with time. You know, like it doesn't start as something. It's like gym. Like when you start gym, you're not like, hey, it's not glamorous.
Yeah,
it's painful and it's like daunting and all of that. And then as time goes by, only then. But if you were taught that gym is bad all your life, like how do you all of a sudden just snap out of it and be like, this is good? Yeah.
I mean, look, that is very difficult. I mean, that's where we come from. That's where I come from. I grew up from a church context where I'm not going to mention the church's name. It shouldn't be mentioned because it's just for the sake of protection of the name. But I grew up in a church context where if somebody had engaged, especially even if it's someone who was an adult, when I say adult, I mean from the age of 23 and upwards, because you know you can still be youth and be 22, but you know the reason why I'm trying to state adult is because people who are like really old enough and people who are like even close to their 30s. So what happened in a church context that we were in, that I was in, is that even when those people had engaged in sexual intercourse and resulted to someone being pregnant, they would have to now I'm going to give the church away, but they'd have to take off Sambat. They'd have to take off the uniform. They have to take off the clothing of the church, because it almost seems like it's like almost the forbidden sin. Like you have this is like the sin of sins. Exactly, like this is the ultimate disgrace. And so being mentally trained like that this thing of sex is like very bad. You don't do that. It brings a lot of shame. It's going to bring a lot of guilt. It's going to bring a lot of condemnation. It's going to bring a lot of isolation. So you grow up and you think this is very bad.
Yeah.
Very, 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 very bad. Don't go there.
Yeah.
Don't ever go there. And I think I used to be, especially like studying theology, and I was like a youth pastor. In the beginning phase of that, I used to be so harsh against the topics of sex, and I used to, grit it hard and you don't do that, you're gonna burn. Okay, I didn't say you're gonna burn, but you don't do that and stuff like that, So that because of where I grew up in that context, and so now one gets married, and you have to now transition from it being bad to it being something that is very healthy and that is very good. Like that was a very difficult thing for me
it's
to break.
It's mental transition.
Yeah.
Like the paradigm shift to move from thinking it's bad to now thinking. I think the gap is that we as Christians in our teaching instill fear and shame, whereas people need to be given context. And even the way we share it, that's why when a child is raped,
okay.
Even when a child is raped, they're too scared to share what happened to them because they know sex is a taboo thing.
Sure.
They don't know that rape is a violation.
Sure.
It is a crime against another's body.
Yeah.
You know, it's a violation, it's a crime. Rape isn't necessarily about the sex, it's about the abuse, the violation. But because we've made sex such a huge deal, such a huge thing, children lose context of it. They need to know from young that marriage is, sex is good in
its context.
Marriage, in its context, with two people that are married, that are staying together, that
love each other.
That love each other.
Love
it
each
is
other beyond
good.
sex.
If you are not in that context, then it comes with consequences such as spiritual ties and all of those things. So they need to understand what comes with it, why not do it, instead of just say, oh no, sex is bad, or don't go there. Just give people the reason why. I remember when I was growing up, like when I was a teen, I was also like terrified of sex. Because at church they would say things like, you will be separated from God, you will be, you are dirty, you are, all of those things. Like I feel like we oversell?
No. I don't think it's oversell.
Overdent it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we overdent it.
I think we what's the word to put above? There's another nice English word to say. We put it above every other sin, basically. And we say this is like the ultimate worst sin. Like worst of worst sins.
Yeah. And I think if people understand, if we teach people to understand the context of it, then it wouldn't be such a hoo-ha thing, And then obviously the question of why do I have to wait for marriage to come? Like my boyfriend and I have been together for 15 years.
Yeah.
We love each other. Why do I have to wait for marriage?
Yeah, that's such a good question.
Yeah.
But just going back on what you were saying, I think we also grew up in a context where in the black culture you're not even allowed to talk about sex. You don't mention that word, and so already
like,
that
it was so taboo that if like people would write it on the walls in the street.
That's so true.
Yeah, people would write it in the walls in the street, and you'd be like, "Oh my word! Why did you write that?" Like that's them trying to be rebellious. They would just write sex.
Yeah,
like,
it's so true, no?
Yeah,
it's
like,
so true.
Like we are just being rebellious by writing the word sex.
Yeah. It's so true what Budimana says. And also, I also grew up like in a church context where even the pastors had a question and they were confused as to there was this pastoral seminar that I went to years back, and the pastor asked the question, before I preach a sermon, am I allowed to have sex with my wife? Because already so you understand where it comes from a place where I'm dirtifying myself before I share God's word, so even as a married person, they're struggling
it's funny you mentioned that, because when I was engaged to be married, I think there was a month left, somebody asked me, so are you going to have sex with a pastor? Is that even allowed? And I was like, how do you mean? Like, what do you mean?
Is that a question?
That was the question. Like, I don't know. I don't remember what my answer was, but I was just like, how do you even mean?
I don't have an answer for that, because what do you say? What do you say?
Like, how? Like,
please drop a comment on a link and let us know
answer
how
that
to
question. Let's say you were marrying a pastor and somebody asked you that. Like, what would you say?
So yeah, but B, you asked a very good question with regards to marriage, and you're dating for such a long time, and you guys are so in love. You've been together for years and years and years. So why don't we just put the cherry on top and we just have sex because we've been together for years? I think that's such a good question. But for me, I can only share from my context. For me, I think I was a boy who was very naughty, but I was very scared when it came to sex. So I didn't go that far. But when I say I was naughty, I used to date a lot of girls. And I also used to cheat on girls as well. So that was not really taboo for me. That was what we were taught. As a boy, that's what you're supposed to do. We don't. If you do that, But the reason I'm sharing that is because once you enter into a lot of relationships with a lot of other girls, you begin to compare your previous relationship with another person, with the person that you are with now. So even with Bitumelo, when we were dating, I used to compare and say, the other people that I dated were fun. The other people that I dated knew how to kiss. The other people that I dated knew how to, do a lot of stuff, and we could play together and go for picnics and stuff like that. But you are like so new to this whole relationship thing, and now it's causing me frustration. And so I think if we have sex outside of the housing, the institution of marriage, it has that risk that you can potentially compare yourself with every other person that you have had sex with, and now you want your partner to be untombi when Butumelo can only be Butumelo, and now you are here, and now you're regretting and you're having resentment and you regret.
And you frustrated your whole marriage. Yeah. And I think that without putting us on a pedestal, honestly, the beauty about marrying your first is that we don't know any better. We don't know whether we are killing it or we just really bad. And it's
some
fine.
moments are bad and we're like, we killed it. But we don't know.
We don't know whether we killed it or we were really bad.
Yeah.
And there is literally no judgment.
Yeah.
There is no resentment. There is no frustration. We are just growing together. And I think it's beautiful when you are growing together.
And building together.
Building together. Learning new things together. When one feels like, I'm not growing, the other one helps you. I feel like it's such a beautiful journey when both of you are blind but are leading each other to this beautiful paradise, this beautiful place. I think it's such a wonderful thing, and I think it's something that a lot of people should try out. I think there's so much pressure on women being virgins, but not so much on guys, and that's something that we need to correct. I'm not going to preserve myself for someone who didn't preserve themselves for themselves. Don't preserve yourself for a guy.
Yeah.
Preserve yourself for yourself, because virginity is important to you. It's not important to just the person that's going to be your husband. Are they keeping themselves for you?
Yeah.
Or are you just going to give this gift away to somebody who didn't give you a gift?
So, my thought, there was wisdom. Hi. Okonomi. But that is so true. And I think I like the fact that as a couple, we can build onto something. It's not nice that one person has built and the other person doesn't even have a foundation. So the fact that we can build together and we can be open to each other and we can vent out and share our struggles and share honestly. That's why even the scriptures say that Adam and Eve were naked and unashamed. There was no shame. There was they were naked and unashamed.
They're equal.
Whereas some people, I think, are even scared to be naked and unashamed. I mean, to be even emotionally naked with your partner and say, "Listen, I'm struggling with this," and now you even scared to vent that out because your partner is here and you are not even enjoying the sex in any case.
I mean, sex isn't a huge thing, but it's a huge thing. So we make it sound like generally as a society, we make it sound like it's everything in a relationship. But actually it isn't everything. It's the cherry on top. It's beautiful. It's one of the most important things, but it isn't everything. And I think if we start looking at it that way, that it's the cherry on top. It's what makes the cake beautiful. It's what makes the cake appetizing, but it's not the whole cake. There are other things there are other ingredients that make the cake. It's just a something that makes the cake more appetizing. Then we'll start to see that we have to keep it sacred. People literally go into relationships with people and test whether they can have sex or not. I've heard people say, no, I'm not gonna marry someone that I don't know how they act in bed. I'm like, if you both don't know, then like you don't have to test the ground. You'll see, you'll grow inside. You don't have to know before marriage. Like we didn't know before marriage, and we're still going. We're not growing as much as we want to, but we are growing. So like, it's not everything. Really, it really isn't everything.
I think if I can answer that as well, myself and B have been through like a lot in our marriage. We've been married for over 3 years. We're approaching our 4 years, and we've been through the most, to the point where like.
But I mean, like, we need to explain that when we say the most, it's things outside the marriage.
Outside the marriage, things outside the marriage that affect the marriage as well. So if I was only there for, or if I was only there for the sex, or if B was only there for the sex, like what then about the difficult issues that we have to go through, and what then about the times when I don't have, or she doesn't have a job and I don't have a job? Then what is the sex still going to keep you guys together? Because trust you me, when life gets real, it's not the sex that really keeps you guys together. It's deeper than that. It's a deeper love.
It can up the mood. It really can up the mood, but it can't take away your stress. That's the real thing.
And if we can be real as well, when people are sad and are depressed, I think the last thing that some people want to do is engage in sexual intercourse. And so what happens then when your partner becomes depressed and does not engage in sex anymore, and you don't have sex for 2 months, and you married this person? Are you now going to start breaking up with that person because we only got married for the sex? We need to have deeper substance in our relationships, and we need to love one another beyond just the sex. And so just to test the car before you get married
doesn't really work.
Let's test the heart. The heart is what will, I believe, sustain the marriage. If you have God, if you have the heart for your spouse, man, the other stuff will fall in place, and the sex will fall in place and be much more better. I would love to have sex with someone, my wife, whom I know she loves me, she has my best interest, and she's not there just for the sex. That will not make me feel good enough.
Like, you're there for my soul. I think the thing about sex that we forget is like, it's a soul language, it's
soul to soul.
It's a soul language. Like we have love languages, we have this and that, like body language and all of that. I feel like sex is a soul language. Like, that's when our souls can communicate. So to sleep with someone whose soul you cannot communicate with is just meh, and we really are not judging people that are having sex outside of marriage, but we are giving our perspective on like our perspective and our journey. Like, if you do it this way, then it could still work. So what's your takeaway? Like, what's the takeaway that they can take from this video?
Okay, the takeaway is, guys, that sex is amazing.
Yes.
Sex is awesome. Sex is something that is needed in a relationship. And if religion has painted it bad, I just hope and pray that there will be a mental transformation, that you can know that it's not something that is bad, it is not something that is evil, that is not something that God hates, but God created it for a reason, and God actually does love it. I want you to leave with that. That it's something that is positive, and I hope that you do not take the negativity that we got from religion and it affects your marriage, because it did the same for us.
Well, my takeaway is that I hope you realize that it's not everything. It's the cherry on top. The way that I explained it, like, it's something beautiful, something that's making the cake look beautiful, but it's not everything. And I think we shouldn't base our relationship solely on it. It should be part of the things that make up the relationship. Another thing I want to say is that I would like to urge guys, I know our channel is mostly, most of our viewers are female, but if you can talk to your friend, your guy friend and all of that, I think we need to, yes, boy.
He's agreeing. He's agreeing.
We need to spread the word that guys need to keep themselves pure as well. Like, I feel like our ladies deserve a guy that also kept himself. You
Sure.
know, it's only fair that we both come to the party clean, pure, and not that others are dirty. I don't know how to explain it. Like, we both come on a clean slate. Yes, we both just come on as a clean canvas, and we're going to do the art and paint this beautiful picture together. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's so good. Thanks, Mom. There's still a lot to share, but for the sake of time, we gotta.
I mean, obviously, some people would have questions on like, okay, so what if I had sex before, but now I don't want to have sex anymore? Like, I want to try celibacy. I don't think we have an answer for that, a deep answer for that, because we haven't experienced that. We haven't experienced a life where you've had sex before, and now you want to change your lifestyle.
But it is possible, though.
But it is possible.
It is possible
so,
if you're really committed.
I think if we were to get a couple that can share that with us, then definitely we'll do a tag with them. If we can get a couple that can share something like that with us. Or you can watch The Wait. It's a series type of thing. I don't know how to explain it. It's on YouTube, The Wait. Megan Good and Devon Franklin are sharing their journey where Megan Good was sexually active before, and then she started on a journey of celibacy, and they go into detail. They have devotions on it. It's very good. So yeah, you can check them out.
Yeah, that's good. Thanks for giving them resources. Huh? Pleasure.
Yeah.
All right, fantastic, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Please do subscribe, leave your comments, and we will definitely be coming back with more videos. And suggest. Let us know what you want us to talk about. We got you. We got you. So I hope it helped.
Yes.
Was my English right there?
Yeah.
Helped. Hope it helped. And I hope that you have a fantastic day. We out. Z.
Bye.
Z. Peace out, bro. Peace out. Peace out. Peace. Check it out. It's giving a peace sign. Peace out.